Now joined by Johnny Avello out in Las Vegas. He is the director of sports operations at DraftKings ahead of the 2025 CyHawk game. Johnny, what do you see from this matchup just from the outside looking in over there in Vegas?
The spread on this game is usually tight. It's usually around that 2-3 area. It hasn't been much higher than that through the years, at least current years. And that's where it is again. We opened up Iowa State at home, 2.5 point favorite. We're up to 3. We did open the total a little higher in this game, thinking there would maybe be a production of more offense than there has been in the past, but the bettors had nothing to do with it. I mean, they said, it's too high because when you look at the tradition in this game, it's usually a low scoring game. So opened up 43.5. We're now down to 41.5.
How do things change when Iowa State has played a game? They've already played 2 games, one of those being in Ireland. Does that factor into the line at all?
Yeah, I mean, the first game was a good win. It was at K-State. And then the second one, that's South Dakota. That was kind of a cupcake, easy one for them. So they have 2. Iowa has 1. Albany, that not much to say about an Albany football team. It's not a school that's mentioned much when it comes to football. So I think having 2 games under your belts helps. And certainly, home field advantage certainly helps.
Yeah, how big is the home field advantage swing for Jack Trice Stadium, and more specifically in this series?
It's worth probably about 3, which means that these 2 teams are probably equal to us on the power rating, even though Iowa State has a ranking of somewhere around 16, 18, and Iowa is in the also mentions. Now, a win for Iowa this week brings them up probably in the top 25. So, big game it's a big game anyway, right? It doesn't matter, what the teams are playing for, as far as standings. This game is marked on their calendar every year.
How much does past history in this game play into the sports books?
Not too much. Mostly on the total. We know these games tend to go low, but on the side itself, I mean, you got Iowa's quarterback Gronowski. He's a new guy, South Dakota guy. So we have to adjust every single year on these new players coming in, especially now with the NIL and the portal. I mean, it makes things a lot more difficult for us now. So yeah, the history is something we need to look back. We know these games are traditionally tight played defensive games, but on the side, we just have to look at the teams from year to year on the new makeup of the players.
Yeah, when the teams do change so much year to year with the portal and NIL, do you find that your ratings maybe change more early on in the season than they used to in the past?
Well, I wouldn't say. Yeah. Well, yes, I have to. Yes, it does because the makeup of the team is different. There's a lot of new players coming in, sometimes high quality players, but the adjustment for us takes place as the season goes on. The first couple of weeks, we're strangers to the teams too, and we do the best we can to put a power rating together based on the information that we read and what our model tells us. But we'll make some drastic changes on power ratings as the season moves forward.
What's been your lean so far on the 2025 Iowa State game?
I don't have a personal opinion on it, but when you look at these 2 teams, you got Iowa State to win the Big 12 is 6-1, and Iowa to win the Big 10 is 50-1.
Wow.
To make the playoffs, you've got Iowa State at 3-1 and Iowa at 9-1. So think about that, how Iowa's lower the odds as far as winning the conference and winning and making it into the playoffs. But in the overall picture, Iowa State is 180-1 and Iowa's 200-1, much closer. So, that just tells you that the conference for Iowa State to come out of is a little bit softer than it is coming out of the Big Ten.
Absolutely. Say Iowa State wins this game, or say Iowa wins this game. How much would you envision those specific odds to make the playoff changing based off of a win or loss for either side?
I think Iowa State would probably winning this game wouldn't drop much. It's non-conference game, so although it means a lot, conference wins are what's going to get you to the playoffs, winning your conference. Out of the Big 12, I don't know how many teams would make the playoffs. I would presume 1, 2 at the most. So I think it certainly is about wins. It's about winning that conference too. And I just can't see Iowa winning the Big Ten, or even it'd be very difficult to make to the playoffs unless there's although the team had a good year last year, 8-5. They're probably maybe a little better, but still it's so difficult. In the Iowa State side, what were they, 11-3 last year? Great year.
Yes.
They won 5 straight to end the season, and so they ended well, they started well, and for them to be a big deal to continue on.
As far as Iowa goes, I don't know exactly what they ended up last year going over, but I know they went over a lot more than they had in the past. Has that adjusted their power rating as far as where you set the total a little bit more this year?
Yeah, on the total it does. We have noticed that there's a lot more scoring there on these two teams, and so therefore, we will make those adjustments. Both teams actually scored more, so we'll continue. We'll see what happens in this game. This is a different kind of animal. This one, so these two teams play really close to the bell. That Gronowski kid, I know he only passed for 44 yards last week, so it wasn't. I don't know what that means. I don't know if they were just trying to get the running game going and just working on that. But if that's the way the game's going to be played with a lot less passing, I guess you can expect another under total.
I'll close with this. Where have you seen the public going? Where have you seen the sharps going about halfway through game week?
So far, the sharp money has been on Iowa State early just because of the number. The 2.5 is a big deal rather than 3. 2.5 plays in the pro football more than it does in college, but still, the 2.5 was attractive to sharp player, maybe a couple of players who did lay that 2.5. From this point on, I would think that the general public is probably going to take Iowa on the money line, take a shot betting them that way, and I think the spread will probably see more Iowa State money. So I think this game will have a good balance, good mix.
Do you think the line will stay where it is right now at 3 points?
Yeah, I don't think this line's going any higher than this. If anything, it could go back to 2.5. That total, though, that's 41.5 that we opened 43.5. I wouldn't be surprised if that thing drops to another tick to 41 or even 40.5.
Awesome, Johnny. Well, that's some great insight there from DraftKings in Las Vegas. Thank you. Thanks for hopping on.
You're welcome. Great speaking to you.